Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Jacquelene Closemore and you're on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I'm coming to you live from the Whittlesea Chinese Medicine Clinic. I'm back, yay, to in-person appointments, up here, and also in my Melbourne CBD office. So it's good to be back in person with people, but also, still doing the phone and video calls for private readings there as well. So yay for that stuff and getting it all happening again. Now, I'm going to go today through Mercury retrograde, and I'm laughing because I actually can't see the screen at all right now, so that's even more fun. So I won't even know when I'm finishing. Good on me. So Mercury retrograde, what is it? Why does it matter? And what's it got to do with 2021? Well, 2021 is actually 5 numerologically. Now, we can get into an argument about all of that stuff, but we've got the Judgment card, which hopefully you can see, and the World card. So we've got those two, so 20, 21, and then you bring that down, so 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5, Hierophant card. Now, why that's important is in any conflict, you've usually got the 3 parties, so the victim, rescuer, aggressor. It's very easy in chaos to just pick one, pick a side, but actually it's better to step outside and be the observer. Now, in the Hierophant card, we see sort of themes of the spiritual leader, the male sort of authority figure in a kind of leadership role, and that can be a sort of healing, spiritual aspects to that. Or on the converse side of that, we can get the tyrant. Bye. That's just recently had a lot of relevance, hasn't it? So we get a lot of chaos with that, and also we're going into the year of the metal ox, and so it's going to be quite a full-on year in that 5 of dealing with communication, negotiation, conflicts and conflict resolution, diffusing conflict where possible, and also 5 has a lot to do with movement. And so if we look at movement and restriction versus rebellion and freedom and this sort of thing, you can find it being quite a busy year. And, of course, 5 relates to Mercury quite strongly. So when we talk about Mercury retrogrades and what's the relevance, Mercury is a planet of communication, and Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. And, of course, this year we're right in those eclipses relating to the Sagittarius-Gemini axis right until the end of 2021. So Gemini rules domestic travel, Sagittarius rules international travel, and haven't we been having fun with that in the last year? Not. So when we look at the first Mercury retrograde, let's get into that. Mercury retrogrades can get you to look over the past, about relationships. There can be endings of relationships. We can be dealing with mixed or faulty communication, and hence why I can't even see the screen right now, and I just laugh about that because I'm in the shadow period of it right now. The first Mercury retrograde is on the 30th of January, so we're not far off it. We're in the shadow period right now. And then it goes direct on the 21st of Feb. So won't that be fun for everyone? It's in Aquarius, and of course Aquarius rules science, new age stuff, media, community as well, and a whole range of other things. But, so you may be finding yourself looking at, this last year, really going back over that and going, the information I had, maybe, was it correct, was it not? Aquarius also, on the good side, can be about that kind of community involvement, media, mass communication, groups. But it can also be about people thinking they know what's best for everyone and trying to make that happen, as in authority or authoritarianism. So we're kind of getting to look over, where things have gotten us, particularly over the last year. When we come to the next eclipse, the next, why are we talking eclipse? 26th of May, that's why, because the next eclipse we get is in Sagittarius at 5 degrees. It's a lunar eclipse on the 26th of May, just before we get, fun times, the Mercury retrograde on the 29th of May to the 22nd of June, and that will be in Gemini. So we've got this Gemini Mercury retrograde while we've got a total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So if that's not going to hit Gemini and Sagittarius in a big way, I don't know what will. Certainly any Gemini and Sagittarius area. So not just domestic travel, international travel, but, if you look at Sagittarius, it's relating to higher mind, higher thinking, university education. Gemini is kind of like primary school type stuff. So, you know, before university. And, you know, in Gemini we find neighbours, siblings, this sort of thing, and of course the twins. And in Sagittarius it's, you know, that philosophy. There can be kind of spiritual, religious kind of connotations to it as well. So when we're looking at that eclipse in that middle of the year, it may be a real rethinking of where you're at spiritually, what's your vision about, have you been having clear vision, have you had to readjust your thoughts and thinking. Also, the other thing about Mercury retrogrades is they can be a time where if you're getting a contract to sign, you might want to rethink that, or you might need to triple check it. Don't just read it once and go, oh yeah, just signing away. Well, also I find in some cases if I've got brand new media kind of, someone approaching me from the media when Mercury is retrograde, or some new, we've got the deal for you during Mercury retrograde, I know that ain't what it seems. But more, maybe it's a past media connection I've had, and you know it's going to be all right. There might be some unusual stuff about it, but I tend to be on the lookout because remember Mercury's communication, and so if someone's coming and communicating a brand new message to me in the middle of Mercury retrograde, I'm sort of, because I'm Gemini, Virgo moon, or Sagittarius rising, you know, I'm going to be pretty sceptical, frankly. I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know, Captain Practicality's out, and it's kind of got some alarm bells going. So you may find travel plans as well, because travel, once again, is Mercury. So travel plans, well, you know, might want to be kind of flexible on that, particularly around that May-June period, looking at this stuff. Now, the next Mercury retrograde will be September the 27th to October the 23rd. That'll be in lovely Libra. So, oh, wow, if you're looking for a cacophony, there's one right there. You may find yourself dealing with quite a bit of confusion in that period, and I think it's very easy for people to make fast and wrong choices out of thinking the best of things. So it's going to be really important to really think deeper about the longer term repercussions during that period of things you're thinking of doing, because it feels like in September, October, that's where people might be making sort of more permanent decisions that they sort of splatter on, think, did I think about that deeply enough? So just be a bit careful with that one. Now the next eclipse, we didn't do the June 10 eclipse, annular solar, 19 Gemini, right in June amongst that Mercury retrograde again. So June's going to be action-packed, won't it? There's certain days I'd probably stay home, I think, just personally. So Gemini, you might want to check particularly what degree of Gemini your sun is in, particularly while an eclipse is going on it. I have quite an interesting story to tell about that, and I'll probably need more time to do that at some point. I might do that after this show, just briefly on Facebook Live, on my Jacquelene Closemore Live Facebook page, just a story there. But so, yeah, I would be a bit careful about trying to make big plans around the middle of the year as far as travel goes. And also, now the next eclipse, we're getting back to the eclipses again, will be the 19th of November, partial lunar 27 degrees Taurus. So that's going to be 2 degrees off Algol. I think we'll see some very big stuff to do with public images of people, not lots of people, but certain people, particular leaders, where maybe they've lost their head in the past or gone a bit too far with things, and having to kind of deal with the the ramifications of that. That would be quite interesting on political leaders, particularly male political leaders, I would imagine, in this case. But, that's yet to sort of work itself out, and I'll get more specific about that later on, I think, closer to the time. Now, total solar eclipse, the last eclipse for the year, will be on the 4th of December. That's 12 degrees Sagittarius. So just watch out for that one. I'll talk more about this in the next few shows, and, so just watch out for that in time to come. In the meantime, I think I'm getting the wind up. I'm just going to check here. Oh, fun times with the phone. See, this is Mercury retrograde for you. 60 seconds, good. Yeah, sometimes you just need help because your phone's just doing weird things. If you could see my phone right now, you'd understand why I'm having so much trouble. But anyway, so anyhow, I'm going to catch you next week on A1R Psychic Radio, Moonstruck TV. There's going to be more shows on this channel the rest of the evening. In the meantime, I'll be on Jacquelene Closemore Live on Facebook with, no doubt, actually be able to see what I'm doing and be able to reply your comments. In the meantime, I'll see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.